Dictionary explained. BRICS is an acronym that stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. The BRICS countries are a group of emerging economies that have gained significant importance in the world economy and politics in recent years. Here's a brief history of BRICS. The idea of BRIC, without the S, was first coined by Jim O'Neill, an economist at Goldman Sachs, in a 2001 paper titled Building Better Global Economic BRICS. The paper argued that the four countries, Brazil, Russia, India, and China, had the potential to become the dominant economies in the world by 2050. The first BRIC summit was held in 2009 in Yekaterinburg, Russia. The meeting was attended by the heads of state of all four countries. The BRIC leaders discussed ways to increase their cooperation in trade, finance, and other areas. They also called for reform of international financial institutions such as the World Bank and the IMF. In 2010, South Africa was invited to join the group, and BRIC became BRICS. The first BRICS summit with South Africa was held in Sanya, China, in 2011. Since then, BRICS has held annual summits to discuss issues of mutual interest and cooperation. The topics of discussion have included economic cooperation, trade, investment, energy, and climate change. BRICS has also created various institutions to promote cooperation among its member countries. These include the New Development Bank (NDB), which provides loans for infrastructure projects in BRICS countries, and the Contingent Reserve Arrangement (CRA), which provides a safety net for member countries in case of balance of payment difficulties. BRICS has faced various challenges over the years, including slowing economic growth and political tensions among its members. However, the group remains an important forum for cooperation among emerging economies and a voice for developing countries in international affairs. BRICS has also made progress in promoting trade and economic integration among its members. In 2010, the group set a target to increase intra-BRICS trade to $500 billion by 2015. Although this target was not met, intra-BRICS trade has continued to grow and reached $337 billion in 2019. BRICS countries have also launched initiatives to promote connectivity and cooperation in infrastructure development. For example, in 2014, the BRICS countries signed an agreement to establish the BRICS Development Bank, which is now known as the New Development Bank. The bank aims to provide financial assistance for infrastructure and sustainable development projects in BRICS countries and other emerging economies. In addition to economic cooperation, BRICS has also become an important platform for political and strategic dialogue among its members. The group has discussed various regional and global issues, including the situation in the Middle East, the conflict in Syria, and the North Korean nuclear issue. BRICS has also taken a stance on issues related to global governance and reform of the international system. The group has called for a more democratic and representative global order and has advocated for greater participation of developing countries in international decision-making processes. In recent years, the BRICS countries have faced various challenges, including the COVID-19 pandemic, rising geopolitical tensions, and economic slowdowns. However, the group remains an important force in the world economy and politics, and its members continue to work together to promote cooperation and development. BRICS country trade economic. Trade and economic cooperation are important areas of focus for the BRICS countries. Here's an overview of the trade and economic relations among the BRICS countries. Trade. Intra-BRICS trade has increased significantly in the past decade, although it still accounts for a relatively small share of each country's total trade. In 2020, intra-BRICS trade amounted to $126 billion, accounting for around 6% of the group's total trade. China is the largest trading partner for all the BRICS countries except Brazil, where the United States is the largest trading partner. In 2020, China accounted for 18% of Brazil's exports, 15% of Russia's exports, 11% of India's exports, 28% of South Africa's exports, and 27% of China's own exports. The BRICS countries have set a target to increase intra-BRICS trade to $500 billion by 2020, but this target has not been met. The group has set a new target to increase intra-BRICS trade to $500 billion by 2025. Investment. The BRICS countries have become important destinations for foreign direct investment (FDI), with China being the largest recipient of FDI among the group. In 2020, China received $149 billion in FDI, followed by India with $64 billion, Brazil with $27 billion, Russia with $20 billion, and South Africa with $4 billion. The BRICS countries have also been investing in each other's economies. For example, Chinese companies have invested heavily in infrastructure projects in Brazil and South Africa, while Indian companies have invested in the technology sector in South Africa. Economic cooperation. The BRICS countries have launched various initiatives to promote economic cooperation and integration. For example, the New Development Bank, which was established by the BRICS countries in 2014, aims to provide loans for infrastructure and sustainable development projects in BRICS countries and other emerging economies. The BRICS countries have also launched the BRICS Business Council, which aims to promote trade and investment among the member countries. The council includes representatives from the private sectors of each member country and identifies opportunities for cooperation and investment. The BRICS countries have also discussed the possibility of creating a free trade area among the member countries, although progress on this front has been slow. Overall, the BRICS countries have recognized the importance of trade and economic cooperation among themselves and have taken steps to promote it. However, the group still faces challenges in increasing intra-BRICS trade and investment, and promoting greater economic integration among the member countries. Some additional information about the trade and economic relations among the BRICS countries. Agriculture is an important sector for some of the BRICS countries, particularly Brazil and Russia. Brazil is a major exporter of soybeans, meat, and sugar, while Russia is a major exporter of wheat. Energy is another important sector for the BRICS countries, with Russia and Brazil being major producers of oil and gas, while China is a major consumer of these resources. India and South Africa have also been investing in renewable energy sources, such as solar and wind power. The BRICS countries have been working together to promote the use of their national currencies in trade and investment. In 2012, the BRICS countries established the Contingent Reserve Arrangement (CRA), which allows member countries to borrow from a pool of foreign exchange reserves in the event of a balance of payments crisis. The CRA also aims to reduce dependence on the US dollar as a reserve currency. The BRICS countries have also been working together to promote the digital economy. In 2020, the BRICS countries signed a declaration to enhance cooperation in the digital economy, with a focus on areas such as e-commerce, digital infrastructure, and data protection. One challenge for the BRICS countries is the lack of common standards and regulations for trade and investment. The countries have different legal systems, business practices, and regulatory frameworks, which can make it difficult to do business across borders. The BRICS countries have been working to address this issue by promoting greater cooperation on regulatory issues and harmonizing standards where possible. Thank you so much guys, see you next video, bye bye.